Today on Too Many Projects Garage, we're working on the Subaru, or about to start working on the Subaru. Randy himself, the man himself, sent me the clutch. So we'll open that up and then we'll start taking apart. First thing we gotta do is drain the coolant, take this out. That's the first step. And then we'll slowly, I think there's some plugs we gotta undo, a few things basically to pull this engine out. Gotta take off the hood so we can use the gantry crane. So we got a few things we gotta do. Let's get to it. So I decided to clean up the shop a little bit, clean up the floor. There was leaves everywhere and it was pretty annoying. Even then, there's still leaves in here. I couldn't get them all out. It's just they slipped through the cracks of the floor, which is really annoying. Cleaned up the whole counter space so we have places to work on stuff. Got all my tools, my power tools ready to go, so they're easy to access. So I'm pretty proud of myself, not gonna lie, because usually it's a mess in here. So we gotta get started. Let's open this up here and we'll see what it looks like. Got a knife, let's open it up, see what it looks like inside. Oops, I totally missed the... I'm failing, guys, I'm failing, okay. Cut away from you for safety. This open and see what it looks like inside. Oh! The tape was sticking to me. It still is sticking to me. Okay. We got some product return stuff. Ooh, packing materials. Can never have too much of that. I send stuff all the time online, so let's pull this out. Okay. Duralast new clutch kit. Here's the number. See what it looks like. Hopefully it comes with everything we need. Oh yeah, we've got the clutch alignment tool, the clutch itself, a new bearing for the input shaft. All looks pretty good. New throw-up bearing, very nice. And the clutch itself, I'm curious to see, you know, what the old clutch will look like in comparison to the new clutch. That should be a pretty entertaining comparison, because I'm sure the clutch on this is just smoked, like totally destroyed. Those people who stole the car originally, they did not treat it very well. So I'm gonna go put this on the workbench so it's ready. And then we're going to start digging in by taking the radiator out. So what I did is I pulled my little table, my rolly table out here that I got at the thrift store. I'm going to use this to store my tools because I have a very bad habit. And I don't know about you guys, but I have a bad habit of misplacing tools and then they disappear forever and I never see them ever again. I don't know where they go. They just disappear. And I don't find them, then I have to go to Harbor Freight and buy them. And then eventually I end up stumbling across them, and then I have extra sets. But actually, as of today, it seems like I'm missing a bunch of tools. I don't know if I just lost a bunch when I was working on the Accord or what, but I'm sure I'll be able to locate them as time goes on. So let's get to this. These look like 12s right here. But I think I need to, like I said, I need to drain the coolant first. So that's the first thing. I'm not really looking forward to it because I feel like I'm going to spill it all over the floor. Like anytime you ever like take off a lower radiator hose, you just spill it everywhere. And I don't think I have anything to pour the coolant in, so. All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and get started on getting the coolant. There is a convenient, the lower radiator hose is right here. I don't know how well you guys can see that, but it's right here. So I'm gonna unscrew this, pull this off, hopefully drop it in this bucket here. And we'll see how much I overflow the bucket. Hopefully not a whole lot. And we'll see how that goes. Wish me luck. So I just cracked it. And I'm going to let the water kind of just, you know, come out slowly. So that way it doesn't gush out. And I think that would be pretty good. So while I'm waiting for that to drain, I'm going to take these little two covers off here and look towards taking off the alternator and also look into removing the Yeah, basically just take off the accessories or loosen the accessories so that way I can get them pushed out of the way, so when we pull the engine, it's not that big a deal. Also, I'm going to remove this here, just get everything out of the way to make it easy to access. So when we pull the engine out, we'll be ready to go. So I found something interesting. So I looked down here and I guess what I found, I pulled this out. Looks like something caught fire and melted, and I'm guessing what caught fire and melted was the airbox, because this is a big chunk of plastic. Makes you wonder how that happened. This kind of looks a little gross too, the inside of that. Huh. Nothing else really looks like totally destroyed or anything, but like, holy crap, look at this. It's definitely not normal for there to be a giant hunk of melted plastic sitting down on top of your engine. Well, mystery. Check it out, guys. We've got radiator out. It's right over there. With fans out. Now what we're going to do is remove the power steering pump alternator, which is already loose. It just needs the power steering pump removed because it's kind of captured by it. And then move the AC. Luckily enough, the AC is movable, even if because of the soft lines there, I can kind of push it up out of the way and it won't be in the way when you pull the engine out. So I think that's pretty good. And same with this, and this obviously just comes right off. So I think we're looking pretty good. I've been pretty good about keeping track of my tools. They have all been going back on the table here. So not too bad. I've got a little time lapse going. Of course, you guys have probably already seen some of it. So I think it's looking pretty dang good. I need to unplug these plugs back here, so that way when you pull the engine out, you don't have to take the wiring harness off. So far so good. I got a guy coming to buy that off of me on Facebook Marketplace because I don't need it. It's just in the way. And I may have the guy help me pick up this hood and take the hood off, because I do need the hood off in order to use the gantry crane to pick up the engine because it's kind of in the way. So that'll be fun. So I've got the power steering and alternator off, so we're good there. That's all removed. I put everything back where it's supposed to go, screw-wise, so that isn't getting lost. Nothing's getting lost in that regards. I was going to take the AC off. I have to pull this bracket in order to get the AC off, which is kind of annoying, but you know, you got to get to a really, really hard to reach little screw way back in there. You probably can't really see it back there, but it's back there. But look what I found. Just in here. A cork. What the heck is up with this car, I tell you. Every time there's something weird going on. And a cork is even weirder. Like, what the? Like, where would you even... Oh, well. Another weird thing to go with the collection. Alright, so I'm going to get this bracket removed, and then I'm going to put the bracket back on because I can use this right here, where my finger is, to pick it up with the leveler thing. So here we go. So I think I know why that cork was in there. As you can see, there's a little dead mouse. I was like, it almost looks like it's still alive, but nope, it is not. Alright guys, this is the part I was dreading the most. I've got pretty much everything unhooked from the engine itself, right, to pull it out. I've got to pull all the bolts from the bell housing, which that doesn't seem too hard. But the part I'm really not looking forward to is the exhaust bolts to separate the exhaust from the downpipe, as well as the motor mount bolts, which are underneath the car. So I've got to jack up the car and then crawl underneath or use a creeper or whatever to get underneath there so I can undo those. And I really don't want to. But, you know, you got to do what you got to do when you're working on your car and you don't have a lift. So, like I said, that's why we want the lift. That is why we want the lift, because being able to lift it up, work underneath without a problem is just such a luxury. And I cannot wait until I'm able to afford to buy all the parts to, you know, get that thing going and mount it in here. So I can do stuff like this without too much problems. So anyways, this is pretty much ready to go. I'm sure there'll be some stuff when we pull the engine out that I'll realize, oh, that's still connected. That's just part of, you know, lifting an engine out of the car. And, but yeah, it shouldn't be too hard. Just 2 motor mount bolts on the bottom and then the bell housing bolts. Oh, I also need to get the starter out, which is a pretty easy to access. So I don't think that'll be very hard. Here we go. All right, guys, I'm to a pretty good spot. I got under the vehicle. I pulled out the exhaust bolts, which actually were pretty easy to get out, surprisingly enough. And then I pulled out all the bell housing bolts and been keeping good track of all my tools. And got the starter out, so that's looking good there. Whew, and you can see it's already starting to split. The case is already starting to split, so that means I've got all the bolts out. So it's kind of sort of just hanging on its input shaft. And so what I'm going to do is pull the gantry crane up and over, get the leveler hooked up for right here, and also over here there's like a spot. I forget where it is. I'll find it. But there's two spots for the leveler, and then we'll be able to access the clutch. Not too bad a job. This is actually honestly very easy. Now this nut here, oh my God, it was a nightmare. It was on so tight, I don't even know. They must have put it on with like a freaking strong man or something. It took so much effort to get out, and it's at the bottom. It's the lowest freaking nut to get to, so just not a good, not easy to access, unfortunately, but I got it. I got it. Used the creeper, went under there, had it up with some jack stands, so now it's just lifting it up and seeing what I forgot to unplug or missed. We'll see how that goes. Gantry crane is in position. Now I need to grab the load leveler, which is right over here, behind all this junk. There it is on the hoist here. So luckily enough, it's already pretty loose, so we didn't really tighten this down very much, though it's tightened enough to where I can't just undo it by finger with one hand at least. So I'm gonna get this off, get it on there, and get started. Check it out, guys. Look at that. The engine is officially out of the vehicle, and I didn't get it stuck on anything, thank goodness. It's awesome. Let's flip it around here so we can take a look at the back. Look at that. There's the clutch. The evil clutch that is bad as far as we know. I just got to zip off all these bolts here. Come on. Cooperate with me. It's just the way the hook is. But basically I just got to zip off these nuts, take off the pressure plate. Then that should allow us to access the clutch disc. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab that real fast, and we're going to see. I wonder if it's leaking. Kind of looks like it might be. Like through the rear main seal. I might take off the flywheel just to see what it looks like behind there. For giggles, why not? And go from there. It looks like it's definitely leaking from like right here. Ooh, God, it's gross. There's some leaking going on. And I don't know how far Randy wants me to go into it. Since it's out, I don't know if he wants me to replace the main seal or, you know, what he wants me to do. I'm going to reach out to him and ask him. But this is we're in a really good spot here. Let me break these off. I think they're 12s. Let me grab a 12. Where's the 12 at? Could have swore I put everything back on this table. Ah, here it is. 12s. We'll use this. Okay. Let's zip these off. Headphone warning. That was actually really easy to get off. This is just gonna fall off, I bet. Let me set these nuts over here for now so they don't fall on the ground. Oop, didn't get it all the way on there. Okay, there's that one. Set it over here. Got two more. Do the bottom one last. And the last one, I saw the clutch move. Okay, let's see what this looks like. Moment of truth. Is the clutch actually bad? Hold on, it should be. Oh, the little I need pry bar or screwdriver. That's what I need. Get this out of the way. Oh. Oh. Yeah, I'm going to say that's bad. Because you can't even see the little stripes really much anymore, and it looks pretty gross. So, I'm going to call that ruined. We'll compare it to the new one here in just a moment. Let me grab the rest of this pressure plate off of here. There we go. Nice. And I'm going to have to get that bearing out of there. I'm not sure how easy that'll be. We'll find out. Because, yeah, it doesn't feel very good either. I don't know if you can hear that. Let me get the microphone close. It's crunchy, is all I have to say. I can feel the crunch going on. So, and we're going to have to get the this off as well. Throw-up bearing, which shouldn't be too hard. And then, yeah, then we'll be able to get new clutch on here. Exciting times. Here we go, the clutch comparison. As you can see all the little individual lines where you can't even see the lines at all. You can see where some were, right there, there. But wow. It's interesting though that this one it's the same diameter, of course, but you can see in the interior here, the clutch material goes further in. Or maybe this, oh no, it's the same size. It's just this spring circle, this is less diameter, it's smaller. More springs, less diameter, so you can see the little outwards where you can't see on that. So yeah, definitely no good. And you can see, look how close it was to the rivets there. It was just about to start eating into those rivets. Whereas you can see these are well inset. So truly the reason why this car was having issues on the road. I'm really actually very excited, honestly, to get this in there and see how it does in comparison. So we just got to get it up on there. Take that bearing out, take the throw-up bearing out, replace those. Probably, like I said, take flywheel off. Honestly, I'll probably need to take flywheel off to get that bearing out anyways. I'll use my arbor press. So let's do that. So one thing before I take the flywheel off, I'm marking a line here and here. As you can see, just so that way I make sure that this flywheel goes on exactly as I took it off. It does look like it is balanced, but I just want to make sure that there's nothing, I don't know how exactly the balancing works on this, so I just would rather put it on the way it came off. So let's get it off of there. Should just be able to pop right off. I just had it off a second ago. Well, let me grab it anyways without the camera and go from there. Oh my gosh, yeah. This rear main seal, very bad. Holy crap, dude. So I'm thinking we probably should replace that while this is out. I wonder if I can get that at AutoZone or O'Reilly's or something. Also, maybe it looks like whatever this cover here, it looks pretty gross at the bottom, as you can see. So I don't know if that's also leaking. I'll have to look that up and see what that is. I'm gonna call it quits on this video. We're gonna leave it like it is hanging there. And I'm gonna talk to Randy about what we're gonna do about sealing up this engine in terms of like the seals and whatnot. And if he just wants to replace the rear main seal and that's it, then that's fine. Or if he doesn't even want to do that, that's fine. I'd rather replace it though, for sure, because we already have access to it. It's a pain in the butt to get this out of here. So I'm going to call it quits for tonight, and I'm going to post this on the internet. Let me know what you guys think so far. I'm going to thank all my members. I really appreciate it, and thanks everyone for watching, subscribing, clicking that bell, as they say. And you'll see me next time on Too Many Projects Garage.